In Monitus, it's easy to monitor an internet-based website or service. You can monitor HTTP GET or POST commands, FTP, email, voice over IP, MySQL, ping, UDP, or even check for certain web page content. This tutorial will show you how to set up an external monitor and use it to check if a website is up or down, and to check if certain content appears on a web page. To create your new external monitor in Monitus, first click the Add Monitor button. Then click the Select External Monitor option in the Easy Start wizard. Click Next and you'll be taken to the next step in the Add New Monitor wizard. Here, you can enter the URL of the website or server you wish to monitor, using either its domain name or IP address. I want to monitor google.com and receive alerts if it ever goes down. I'm going to monitor Google using the HTTP protocol, but I could monitor a server in a variety of different ways. For example, I could simply choose to ping the server, instead of or as well as doing an HTTP GET. When you click the box for each protocol, its settings tabs appear. There's nothing to configure for ping, as it simply resolves the IP from the URL IP field. A server can fail in a number of ways, however, and sometimes a server might continue to respond to a ping, even though one of its other protocol services has failed. So I get more specific, and I monitor any of these other services and change the settings if necessary. For example, on my server, I happen to know that the FTP service is configured to be on port 221 instead of 21. So I need to change the port number in the FTP tab. If I want to monitor a MySQL server, I can provide a valid MySQL username and password, and Monitus will alert you if MySQL fails. For this to work, you need to grant access to the Monitus server and follow the instructions marked here in red. You can also perform SIP, HTTPS, DNS, POP3, UDP, IMAP, TCP, SMTP, and SSH checks. With HTTP and HTTPS checks, you can also perform an HTTP post as part of your check. This is great for checking the functionality of forms. But in this case, I simply want to check that google.com responds via HTTP. Once you have finished configuring the protocols you wish to monitor, click Next. We can now choose which locations we would like to monitor the server from. Monitoring your server from different parts of the world can be very useful for identifying network issues that might be preventing visitors from reaching your website. This is also useful if your website employs a kind of geo-redirection, and you wish to constantly check the correct content is being served to the correct country. Here, we can also define the interval between checks. The default is 5 minutes, but I'm going to change it to check every 1 minute. You can also give your monitor a tag, which assists in sorting and navigation of your monitors later. The timeout figure is the length of time required for the service to register as a failure. This number is in milliseconds, and the default is 10,000, which is 10 seconds. Setting this figure too low may result in a lot of alerts, so 10 seconds is a good length of time. Click Add. You will now see the Add Notification Rules window. This window allows you to define the circumstances under which your new monitor will run. For example, this particular monitor is for my information only, and I don't want to receive an SMS message at 3 a.m. telling me that Google is down. So I'm going to set this monitor to only notify me during business hours. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. I've selected multiple locations, and I want to know about any failure from any one of these locations, so I'll check the At least one box. Otherwise, it will only alert me when all of my locations fail. I also want to be continually alerted until the service is restored, so I tick the Continuous Alert box. Otherwise, I'll only get alerted the once. I also want to know if the service has come back up, so I'll leave the Notify When Backup box checked. I'm going to add a new contact. This is the person who will be alerted when this rule fails. There are many ways to receive alerts: via SMS or phone calls, or instant message to ICQ, or Google, or even to my Twitter account. I'm going to choose email. I want a summary report weekly, and I'm going to add this person into the sysadmins group. Adding new contacts and group management can also be performed via the Contact option in the main menu. Click Add Rule. It will return to the main welcome screen, and you will see your new monitor on the dashboard. If I change the view, we can see that Google.com is responding fine, with an OK status. The default view presents the results in the tabular layout, but along the top of the monitor are a number of other options including Pie View, Scatter Chart showing the responses time, Line Chart, and a bar chart. But now I want to monitor the Google homepage to see if the words "the quick brown fox" appears on the page. Checking for certain words on a web page can be useful if you are serving up a long page and you want to check it loads fully, or perhaps there's some dynamic content on the page and you wish to receive an alert when the certain content appears or disappears. So click Add Monitor again. Click External, Next, enter our URL, and click the Enable Content Matching box on the HTTP tab. This time I want the check to fail, so I can show you what happens. I want Monitus to alert me if the text "the quick brown fox" ever appears on the Google homepage. I'm going to run the check 24/7 and send the notification to my Gmail account. Again, if we wait a minute and change the view, we can see this Google check is failing.